Lung cancer in the lungs is a kind of malignant growth that starts in the lungs. Your lungs are two light organs in your chest that take in oxygen when you breathe in and discharge carbon dioxide when you breathe out. Lung cancer in the lungs is the main source of disease transmission around the world. Individuals who smoke have the most serious risk of lung cancer in the lungs. However, lung cancer in the lungs can likewise happen in individuals who have never smoked. The risk of lung cancer in the lungs increases with the time span and number of cigarettes you've smoked. Assuming that you quit smoking, even after smoking for a long time, you can essentially lessen your chances of creating lung cancer in the lungs. Side effects. Lung cancer in the lungs ordinarily doesn't cause signs or side effects in its earliest stages. Signs and side effects of cellular breakdown in the lungs commonly happen when the illness progresses. Signs and side effects of lung cancer in the lungs might include another hack that doesn't disappear. Hacking up blood, even a modest quantity. Windedness. Chest torment. Dryness. Getting more fit easily. Bone torment. Migraine. When to see a specialist. Make a meeting with your primary care physician, assuming you have any industrious signs or side effects that concern you. On the off chance that you smoke and have not been able to stop, make a meeting with your PCP. Your primary care physician can suggest procedures for stopping smoking, like recommending medications and nicotine substitution items. Causes. Smoking causes most cellular breakdowns in the lungs, both in smokers and in individuals exposed to handed-down cigarette smoke. However, cellular breakdown in the lungs likewise happens in individuals who never smoked and in people who never had drawn-out openness to handed-down cigarette smoke. In these cases, there might be no reasonable reason for cellular breakdown in the lungs. How smoking causes lung cancer in the lungs. Specialists honestly think smoking causes cellular breakdown in the lungs by harming the cells that line the lungs. At the point when you breathe in tobacco smoke, which is brimming with disease-causing substances, cancer-causing agents, changes in the lung tissue start very quickly. At first, your body might have the option to fix this harm. However, with each rehashed openness, ordinary cells that line your lungs are progressively harmed. Over the long run, the harm makes cells act strangely, and ultimately, disease might create. Sorts of cellular breakdown in the lungs. Specialists partition cellular breakdown in the lungs into two significant sorts in light of the presence of cellular breakdown in the lung cells under the magnifying lens. Your PCP goes with therapy choices in view of the significant kind of cellular breakdown in the lungs you have. The two general sorts of cellular breakdown in the lungs include little cell cellular breakdown in the lungs. Little cell cellular breakdown in the lungs happens solely in weighty smokers and is more uncommon than non-little cell cellular breakdown in the lungs. Non-little cell cellular breakdown in the lungs. Non-little cell cellular breakdown in the lungs is an umbrella term for a few kinds of cellular breakdowns in the lungs. Non-little cell cellular breakdowns in the lungs incorporate squamous cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, and huge cell carcinoma. Risk factors. Various elements might increase your risk of cellular breakdown in the lungs. Some gambling variables can be controlled, for example, by stopping smoking. What's more, different elements can't be controlled, like your family ancestry. Risk factors for cellular breakdown in the lungs include smoking. Your risk of cellular breakdown in the lungs increases with the quantity of cigarettes you smoke every day and the number of years you have smoked. Stopping at whatever stage in life can altogether bring down your gamble of creating cellular breakdown in the lungs. Openness to handed-down cigarette smoke. Regardless of whether you smoke, your risk of cellular breakdown in the lungs expands on the off chance that you're exposed to handed-down cigarette smoke. Past radiation treatment. Assuming that you've gone through radiation treatment on the chest for one more kind of disease, you might have an expanded risk of creating cellular breakdown in the lungs. Openness to radon gas. Radon is delivered by the normal breakdown of uranium in soil, rock, and water, which at last turns out to be essential for the air you relax in. Risky degrees of radon can amass in any structure, including homes. Openness to asbestos and different cancer-causing agents. Work environment. Openness to asbestos and different substances known to cause malignant growth like arsenic, chromium, and nickel can expand your gamble of creating cellular breakdown in the lungs, particularly in the event that you're a smoker. Family background of cellular breakdown in the lungs. Individuals with a parent, kin, or kid with cellular breakdown in the lungs have an expanded risk of the illness. Intricacies. Cellular lung cancer in the lungs can cause difficulties, for example, windedness. Individuals with cellular breakdown in the lungs can encounter windedness, assuming that the disease develops to hinder the significant aviation routes. Cellular breakdown in the lungs can likewise make liquid gather around the lungs, making it harder for the impacted lung to extend completely when you breathe in. Hacking up blood. Cellular breakdown in the lungs can cause draining in the aviation route, which can make you hack up blood, hemoptysis. Once in a while, draining can become extreme. Medicines are accessible to control dying. Torment. High-level cellular breakdown in the lungs that spreads to the coating of a lung or to one more region of the body, like a bone, can cause torment. Let your primary care physician know if you experience torment, as numerous medicines are accessible to control torment. Liquid in the chest, pleural radiation. Cellular breakdown in the lungs can make liquid collect in the space that encompasses the impacted lung in the chest depression, pleural space. Fluid amassing in the chest can cause windedness. Medicines are accessible to empty the liquid out of your chest and diminish the gamble that pleural emission will happen in the future. Disease that spreads to different pieces of the body, metastasis. Cellular breakdown in the lungs frequently spreads, metastasizes, to different pieces of the body, for example, the mind and the bones. Cancer that spreads can cause torment, sickness, migraines, or different signs and side effects relying upon what organ is impacted. When cellular breakdown in the lungs has spread past the lungs, it's for the most part not treatable. Medicines are accessible to diminish signs and side effects and to assist you with living longer. Anticipation. There's no certain method for forestalling lung cancer in the lungs, however you can decrease your gamble in the event that you try not to smoke. Assuming you've never smoked, don't begin. Converse with your youngsters about not smoking so they can comprehend how to keep away from this significant gamble factor for cellular breakdown in the lungs. Start discussions about the risks of smoking with your kids early so they know how to respond to peer pressure. Quit smoking. Quit smoking at this point. Stopping lessens your gamble of cellular breakdown in the lungs, regardless of whether you've smoked for quite a long time. Converse with your primary care physician about methodologies and quit smoking guides that can assist you with stopping. Choices incorporate nicotine substitution items, meds, and care groups. Keep away from handed-down cigarette smoke. On the off chance that you live or work with a smoker, ask the person in question to stop. At any rate, request that the person in question smoke outside. Keep away from regions where individuals smoke, like bars and cafes, and search out sans smoke choices. Test your home for radon. Have the radon levels in your home checked, particularly in the event that you live in a space where radon is known to be an issue. High radon levels can be cured to make your home more secure. For data on radon testing, contact your neighborhood branch of General Well-Being or a nearby part of the American Lung Affiliation. Keep away from cancer-causing agents at work. Play it safe to shield yourself from openness to harmful synthetics at work. Follow your boss' precautionary measures. For example, in the event that you are given a facial covering for security, consistently wear it. Ask your primary care physician how more you might safeguard yourself at work. Your gamble of lung harm from working environment cancer-causing agents increments assuming that you smoke. Eat an eating regimen loaded with foods grown from the ground. Pick a solid eating routine with different products of the soil. Food wellsprings of nutrients and supplements are ideal. Try not to take enormous portions of nutrients in pill structure, as they might be destructive. For example, specialists expecting to diminish the gamble of cellular breakdown in the lungs in weighty smokers gave them beta-carotene supplements. Results showed the enhancements really expanded the gamble of disease in smokers. Practice most days of the week. On the off chance that you don't work out consistently, begin gradually. Attempt to practice most days of the week. Thank you for watching.